Okay, guess what time it is? It is Maxx Air Fan time. I've got my step bit, I've got a regular bit. My things all taped up, my bag in place. I went this morning to Home Depot, bought some lumber, 2x4, built a nice little thing up here. We are ready to, I don't do this without falling here. So yeah, woohoo! My tape cut out, so basically I'm just gonna tape along or cut along this perimeter edge there. Drill 4 little pilot holes right here in the corners. So my jigsaw in there. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so we've drilled the 4 holes. Get the vacuum and clean that up. Take a peek inside, make sure my bag is catching the debris. After we start cutting some holes, I'll go ahead and, so we got 2 sides cut. I went ahead and put some red tape over the top of those to kind of hold this in place. The next cuts to make, making a little bit of a mess here. Yeah, there's no turning back now. There's a hole in the van. Okay, well, now it's really no turning back. There is a 14-inch hole in the van. Woohoo! So now the next thing is to file all these edges and get this nice and ready for some paint on the edges there. That was not that bad at all. I thought it would be a little bit more scary, but not too bad. There's a bunch of little metal shavings that I've heard you really have to be careful of because they can cause rust spots on the top. Yeah, it's a little bit hot today, but we'll get this filed up and painted. Well, I got going on the panel back there. We got it glued, screwed, and it's all attached and drying. And now we're working on this one right here and getting ready to make the second hole in the van. So before we make the final cut in here, trash bag to pick up all of our pieces of metal shavings. Got that all taped up like so, making sure that there's the one rib right there that I'm cutting it on. There's the other rib right there. It was far enough from all this blocking here. I think that'll be the right spot. Let's count that as my double check. Going up to cut. So the day after all my caulking dried, I had to come out here, put the lap sealant on before I put the fans on. So I give you guys a little look at Maxx Air Fan 1 installed. Fits nice. Look how close it is to the back there. And then Maxx Air Fan number 2 installed. Pretty happy with how the lap sealant came out. It's not a perfect smooth fit, but it does look pretty nice. Nice squared off. I taped off. It worked okay, but 2 holes filled. So I wanted to bring you up on the van and show you today of what we've actually got going on the van and how this has lasted over the last year. It's been about that since it's been installed, since those other videos. So what we did here is you can see I swapped this out for a black lap sealant instead of the white, because from down on the ground you could actually see this being white. To me, I didn't like that. Switched it around to the black. Lap sealant's been really good. I haven't had any problems with that, any issues with peeling or flaking on that. Dicor Lap Sealant. So a couple things I wanted to point out here is DIYvan, they make a vent fan adapter. So this right here is the actual vent fan, but then this distance from here to here is a vent fan adapter. And see, if the fan comes across here, you would have this big gap here underneath it. So the vent fan actually, or the vent fan adapter, comes down and makes this to where you have a flat surface for the fan to sit on and then screws through. When I get to the inside, I'll show you how the inside kind of pans out. But here's a look at the other one. So if you look up here in the front is got a weird section also up there to where you would have to really do some butyl tape. The butyl tape would have to be doubled up thicknesses to get to where you're not going to be, have gaps. Vent fan adapters actually are not cheap, but I think it's the right way to go. So let's go inside and I'll show you how that. Various pieces. So this is going to be my cutout here for the Maxx Air Fan. So that'll come on and around there. And then I screwed this to my polypropylene that I used for my Maxx Air Fan. So the vent fans on the inside, I went ahead and went with the van-made gear for the covers. And I really like how they attach on there. You embed some magnets on the other side of this with some, I used packing tape. Real easy to install. So then this part comes around. You can kind of see that. And I also got the 6200 fans instead of, there's a little look going up. Instead of the 7200, I believe is what the one that comes with the remote. Now, I can't say I did that on purpose, but it was more of an accident. They were cheaper, and I went with the cheaper one. I'm not regretting the fact that I didn't get the extra remote. It still has, you can see right here, it still has the other temperature sensor button, so you can use that, and all your sensors are, it's exactly like the one that has the remote. It's just you don't have that fancy remote floating around here. Now to me, you're right here. You can reach up and touch it. And then when you come into bed, you're back here. Here's the one in the back. Not any problem either. You lean up in bed, you can change that. So to me, I was okay with the fact of not having the remote. Now another thing you check out here, what I had to do for the back is I wound up cutting this edge off on the back of this plastic flange that hides all where your seams are, and because I needed this for my air conditioning box, so my air conditioning runs across here, which we'll cover that in another video. But just wanted to give you this little look. This thing was not that hard to cut. I just ran it through my table saw, boom, and cut really easily, really nice, and there was not a problem with that. So the other thing that DIYvan does is they do a inside plastic flange. Now what I used is my own polypropylene, a waterproof product that was not going to rot, strips that went around there, and I just screwed down through the top. Would I buy it again? The answer is yes, 100%. I would buy Maxx Air Fan. I would not buy a different brand. If I had it to do all over again, I would not buy the remotes. I would get the regular one just like what I got. I'm super happy with the function of them. The amps wind up being anywhere from 5 to 8, depending on how high you have the level. So as far as that goes, I'm pretty happy with the amount of consumption that they take up. Another question that I had when I was installing these was, would I put two of them and as opposed to just one? And I like the idea of having two fans. One, you're back there by your bed, you get a good cross breeze from both windows. The one up front here you can have, so if you're at the toilet, you want some, you're in tight quarters, you want to vent that out of there real quick. Or on a different note, if you're up here cooking and you want to vent that out, it's really easy to put on sucking the air. What I do in the back is I'll put the back one on blow, and so it's a fan blowing down on our bed, so we actually have some air blowing on us when we're sleeping. And then I put the front one on suction to where it will suck the air, so it pulls it from the back two windows. A little shot of the back two windows there and there, and it'll suck it from the back part, and you're also blowing from the top fan, and it winds up going right up into this front one very nicely. So that's enough talking, but I wanted to add all those extra things that I thought about the fan. So if you're considering one fan, two fans, and yeah, I would do the exact same setup as what I did before. Thanks so much. We'll catch you on the next one.